Today we want to continue with part 3 about when a person learns Torah, the Surim that he gets by learning Torah, like we started yesterday, he takes away other types of sufferings from him. Again, guys, we're continuing in Sheva Yipol Tzadik in Parak Aleph, in page 18. I'm just going to go one line back from where we said yesterday, just to be able to continue the matter. He says over here, Masech Berachot in Tav Hei, Katav HaMar'eh Kohen, Shehalomed Balayla Umenaded Shena Melav. When a person learns Torah and he keeps slumber away from himself, Vaday Denikri Surim. For sure, this is called Surim. A person comes home late at night, he wants to sleep, but he pushes himself to learn Torah and he doesn't go to sleep. This is called Surim. You're suffering right now. Ubizchar ze, and this reward that you're suffering now by learning Torah, Yimanu Mimenu Hayisurim Ha'acherim Shegurim Lo Shelo Lishon. They're going to keep away from you other sufferings that should have kept you up all night, and now that's not going to be the problem. Why? Because you're up now anyway. This is what we said yesterday. Now we want to move forward. Rabotai, listen to this, Rabotai. V'im lo minadede shenato avura Torah. If a person does not refrain himself from going to sleep when it comes to learn Torah, you know what he says? I'm tired. I can't learn. It's 9:30. I can't do it. I just need a break. Every single day has the same excuse. I need a break. Whenever you're going to have time, if not now. Rabotai, if a person doesn't do it, he says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu yivi alav yisurim. When you don't want to sacrifice for Hashem by taking away from your sleep, Hashem lo leinu will give you chas v'shalom sufferings that will take away from your sleep. What time is it? 1 o'clock, the wife tells you, where's the son? Where's your daughter? They're in the club. They're doing drugs. They're dying. What's going on? Rabotai, where are the children? This is what happens. This is how parents get all frustrated. Could be that a person cannot go to sleep because he has financial bills. He has problems, this and that. Why? Because if a person does not refrain from himself to learn Torah, guys, come. If a person does not hold himself from sleeping to learn Torah, Rabotai, he says Hashem will make sure that you will not go to sleep through sufferings that are going to come up against a person. Ubi'er bazeh kol ha-Gemara sham. He explained the whole Gemara over there, Masech Berachot Tav Hei Amud Aleph. Amar Reish Lakish, right? This Gemara is famous Gemara. Reish Lakish said, Kol Ausek Batorah, anybody who's Oisek, anybody who delves into the Torah, Yisurim B'dilim Hemenu. The sufferings, they leave you. When a person sits and he learns Torah, the sufferings leave you. Amalei Rabbi Yochanan said to Reish Lakish, Afilu tinikot shel Beit Rabban yudi'im oto. Even small children, they know that when a person learns Torah, sufferings leave you. So what's the novelty over here? Ela, the Gemara continues over there. Ela kol she'efshar lo la'asok b'Torah ve'ein osek. If it's possible for a person to learn Torah and he doesn't learn, Rabotai, I'll give you a simple example. There's a shiur at night, 8:30 to 9:30, or whatever the shiur, 9:30 to 10:30, whatever the time is, and the people are home chilling, relaxing, whatever all the excuses they have every single day, Rabotai, no problem. You are able to learn. You have no excuses. You have Torah anytime. You have biyachad. You have iTorah. You have what you don't have to on the internet. And people don't take that advantage, and they're able to learn, and they don't learn. HaKadosh Baruch Hu mivi alav yisurim mecharim ve'ochrim oto. Hashem, He Himself will bring on him suffering. Which kind of sufferings? Ugly ones. What kind of? Not any suffering, but that's going to damage the person. It's not going to leave him alone. It's going to damage him. Upirish, and he explained there, the yisurim shel Torah zehu yisurim she'enam mecharim. When he learns Torah, and he's suffering because he's not going to sleep, you know what he says? These are called isurim, these are called sufferings, but they're not ugly sufferings. But when a person says, you know something, I don't want this kind of isurim. Why I have to learn Torah? For what? I need to make money, I need to go here, my wife here, I have to all the excuses, yeah? HaKadosh Baruch Hu mivi alav yisurim mecharim. No problem. You don't want the Yisurim from the Torah to sit and learn in one place, break yourself and sit down 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You don't want, no problem. Hashem Himself lo leinu will bring Yisurim on the person. You know what's going to end up happening? What do you call that? Koma lo leinu, bed sick, quarantine, all these things. Why does Hashem do all these? To teach us, Rabotai, to give us that time to be able to sit and learn Torah. Pay it close attention. Somebody told me something very smart. They're giving you, what do you call these checks? What do you call those checks? Stimulus checks, all these things. They're closing down everything. They want to close down the whole. Rabotai, pay close attention what's going on. Somebody said some beautiful pshat. One of my students said beautiful pshat. Hashem is dafka doing it so people can sit and learn Torah. What do? Just the opposite. So it only gets worse. We have to, on the contrary, the second we do teshuvah, everything's going to stop. The second we come back to Hashem, through learning Torah, through doing mitzvot, everything's going to come to a stop. But again, we're sleeping, and we have to really wake up. That's the whole problem. He continues over here and he says, "Umashma'ut ha'devarim," the implication of these words, "Shekol adam lefnei shenotar," every single person before he was born, nigzar alav kama yisurim ya'avuru alav. Every person that's born, already it was decreed on him how many sufferings are going to come upon this person. Wife, lo leinu, children, chas v'shalom, money, health, lo leinu. We should never know these things. Ukeneged zeh, and against this, kama yiskeh betova v'tzimcha v'anaot ha'olam. And against this, he also was decreed on him how much pleasure he'll have, how much good times he'll have in this world. Ve'af echad lo yikabel yisurim kol shehen yoter mima shenigzar alav. A person in this world will not get an iota more of suffering than what is already ordained on him from Shamayim. And against this, af echad lo yizkeh letovot ulhanot ba'olam hazeh yoter mima shenigzar alav. Against this, a person will not get an iota of pleasure in this world than from whatever is decreed on him. Everything Rabotai is already decreed. You think you push the boat here, you push the rock over here, you make $1 here, you think you're doing something. Guys, everything was already decreed. Our job is to have your Shamayim and learn Torah. Everything else, you don't chap. It's going to literally come to, like Chazal say, Adam la'amal yulad. A person was born to toil. Chazal tell us, you choose what kind of toil. You want to toil in the world outside? Beseder, go. You have all the problems. You want to toil in the Torah? You're toiling. So Hashem has to take away those problems. Because both of you are toiling. The only question is, where are you putting your effort in? He says over here, guys, listen to this carefully. If at this time a person has a lot of enjoyment, in the future years, he's going to have pain against this pleasure that he's having now. And if a person suffers now, a person that if he's suffering now, in the future, it's already detracting from what he was supposed to, from what was already ordained on him, the suffering. He says over here, guys, you have Rabotai, Bachur literally means a person who's not married. You can apply this to anybody, but he says over here, a Bachur literally means a person who's not married. Why? Because they sit in yeshiva all day. So he says like this, if you have this Bachur, he wants to escape from the Sidarim, they have Seders in yeshiva, or from learning Torah, he wants to sit, he wants to have a good time with his friends and the good pleasures of this world. He wants to chill, put it to like that. He wants to waste his time for nonsense, for emptiness. Rabotai, to this. In the end of days, he'll pay for this. Now you're able to learn and you don't learn, in the end of days, you're going to pay for it. That's when your day, forget the Siman in your day, the Shulchan Aruch Paskins. A person who's rich and he does not learn Torah, guaranteed, Rabotai, he's going to become poor, he's not going to learn Torah. What does that tell you? You won't leave this world until you become poor. And you'll see it's going to happen. A person who's poor and he learns Torah, guaranteed when he's going to be rich, he's going to learn Torah. Meaning, he won't leave this world before he becomes rich. Don't think a person has money and I'm not learning Torah, I sponsor here. Rabotai, you can sponsor everybody you want, but you still have an obligation to learn every single day. Nobody's sponsored from him, nobody. Even a dying person, lo aleinu. Even a person on a coma. Everybody has an obligation to learn Torah every single day. So he says over here, this boy that he wanted to spend his life away in these yeshiva years on nonsense, in the end he'll pay for this. Because then in the upper world, they're going to have to reduce from him, from this world, all the pleasure of this world, they're going to have to reduce later on when he's going to get older. And from peace, from calmness of mind and happiness, they're going to have to reduce everything. V'zehu Rabotai, listen to this beautiful blossom. V'zehu ke'en divrei Gimor b'Baba Batra, Daf Yud Amud Aleph. Sha'al kol adam nigzar kama mamon yisarech lefarish b'shana zo. Every single person, it was already decreed how much money he has to separate for tzedakah. Everybody was decreed. Umi shelo yafrish kera'u l'tzedakah. Somebody who does not separate properly for the tzedakah like he's supposed to, Yisarech lafrish achar kach avur misiv arniyot. You know you're going to end up paying this? Uncle Sam, IRS, taxes. You don't want to pay, you don't want to give tzedakah? Rabotai, the money is going to come somewhere out of you. It's going to come. Vikach, here we go. Vikach b'inyaneinu, it's also in our matter what we're dealing now. Im lo yityaser laTorah v'lavot Hashem. If you're not going to suffer, if you're not going to pain yourself, a better word, if you're not going to pain yourself for Torah, I know it's hard, Rabotai, if it was easy, I would be also doing it. I have a rule, not I have a rule, I heard this, I believe from Rav Chaim. He says a beautiful rule. Whatever is netzach nitzachim, go after it. Whatever is temporary, don't go after it. Pleasures in this world are only temporary. Don't run after it. Lashon hara, all these nonsense curses, all these are temporary, Rabotai. Movies, shmovies, all this is temporary. Things that are hard, go after. Why? Because it's forever and ever. This is how you have to know. This is how you make the rule. So he says, if a person does not pain himself for Torah and for avodat Hashem, he doesn't want to wake up. You know, people come, they do Hashem a favor. 8:30 they come to shul. 9 o'clock after they took care of everything. What happened coming early to Mitzvah shul? No, they have a party Yisrael here, they have a brit mil here, they have a bar mitzvah. So they skip everything and they do whatever. No, Rabotai. First comes Hashem and then everybody else. So he says like this: Im lo yitasel laTorah v'lavodat Hashem. If a person is not going to pain, he's not going to suffer for the Torah and avodat Hashem, yisarech la'ashlim zeh b'yisurim acheirim. You're going to have to pay this with other sufferings lo oleinu. Ubefrat, he says, and especially shematarat ha'yisurim lekarev et adam leboro. The whole purpose of suffering is for what reason? For one purpose only. Is to bring you closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Umi shezocheh u'mitkarev labore al yidei Torah. Anyone has the zechut, the merit, to come closer to Hashem through the Torah, listen to this carefully. Lo yisarech likrava acheret. Hashem will not need to bring any other suffering on you in order to bring him closer. Why? Because you're already closer to him. You want to be close to him. Ubezer Rabotai, listen to this. And with this, Yityashev, it's going to come out good. Madua Shevet Levi lo avdu b'Mitzrayim. We all know that the tribe of Levi did not work in Mitzrayim. Everybody else worked, but the tribe of Levi, why not? V'halo ikar matarat hashibud. Isn't it true that the whole purpose of slavery was ba'al lechaper alavon michirat Yosef? It came to atone for the sin of Yosef. Correct? So, one second. Shevet Levi, correct. Shevet Levi, they were not in the sale? Of course they were. So he says, v'halo Levi haya mi'ika michira. Levi, Shevet, the tribe of Levi, they were the main ones of the selling. So why didn't it go down to slavery? You guys ready for this? How was the Shevet Levi, they didn't go into slavery? The answer is like this. All the sufferings, all the decrees, a person is able to redeem it through Torah. So we come back to that rule, the same rule like we said yesterday, Rabotai. By a person learning Torah, you're taking away Surim. So why not use this opportunity? Not only, Rabotai, I don't want to say that that's the only reason you should do it, but if this is going to motivate the person to do it, he should do it. But a person always try to learn Torah, you know why? Because Hashem says so. That's it. Your whole main goal is because Hashem said so. Just like you do anything else. Why do you guys why do you not eat on Yom Kippur? Why do you not eat treif? Why do you not sleep with married women? Hashem says so. So thing over here. When you're watching TV, remember one thing. Hashem said you should learn Torah, not watch TV. So why are you watching, Rabotai? So Bezrat Hashem, Belineder, with this zuchut, a person strengthens himself into Torah, and he should never see Yisurim, he should only see good days. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen. Amen. Rabbi Hanan ben Akash